Integrate '09 presents Greg Simmons' Studio Fundamentals, Getting It Right the First Time. What should I buy is the most common and most important question anyone in the studio game will ask. Getting the right combination will catapult you in the right direction. Get it wrong, and it could set you back years. Greg Simmons sets us straight. Integrate will be back in August 2010. Royal Hall of Industries and the Hordern Pavilion, Moore Park, Sydney. Put it in your diary, 24th to 26th of August 2010.
The minute we capture sound with the microphone, from that point on, every step along the way from a sound quality point of view is a downward step or a backward step. Does everyone understand that? There's no device that makes the sound higher quality than what it started with. Assuming you start with something good. There are things that make bad things better, but anyway. Every item added to the signal path reduces the overall sound quality of the signal path. So the goal is to build a signal path that produces a commercially acceptable end result despite those degradations. Has everyone got that idea? We can get there. We can get there. It's not hard to do if we're smart. Right, the other principle here is to buy once, buy right. This is the most cost-effective way to build your recording system. Does everyone understand what I mean by buy once, buy right? Give a couple of examples just quickly before we go on. Very obvious examples. Person A has spent $20,000 on gear, finally got a system he's really happy with. A whole lot of stuff he no longer uses. Person B comes on and says, hey, I like your system, I want to buy one of those. But I have to buy and they say, oh, this is what I use here, and they're going to buy the whole, it costs them $8,000. Because they didn't have to spend that other 12 to make 20 to find out what was good and what was bad. Does everyone get that idea? Yeah. So the whole point of this is that idea, buy it once, buy it right. So we try and buy only good professional audio equipment. We'll define what that is later. If it's not possible, begin with a core system that allows you to build upon it with little or no wastage or redundancy. What we want is a large diaphragm. Good recommendation, large diaphragm condenser, cardioid polar response, and you might want to jot down also, get a dual diaphragm design for this particular purpose. Just 3 personal recommendations, mics that I've actually become intimately familiar with through using that is and listening with, I mean, not, you know, I don't know, good. The Rode NG2A. I loaned 4 of these heavy things around Nepal and Tibet a couple of years ago, and it's quite a respectable microphone for this application. It has a, let's look at another one, Audio-Technica ATM4050. A year later I lugged a couple of these around Nepal and India, recording people, and it's also a fine microphone I could recommend. This is an order of price, by the way. And the Neumann TLM103. For guitars, a ribbon microphone is my choice here. You can't go wrong with a good ribbon mic for recording electric guitar. I remember when Roy first put out the 121, these were the first of the new generation rugged ribbon mics that could handle phantom power. The phantom power on an old ribbon mic, and you get a really interesting pyrotechnics display for just a moment. Then nothing ever again. Until you take the Glenn Finisher or someone, he runs his little bit of foil through his little cogs and gives another one, sticks it in, fixes it up for you. Royal 121, I can remember the first day I had one of those. I was with a friend of mine, Luke Baker, and we were recording electric guitar. And we had the standard electric guitar set up, Shure C57 about here, U87 about a metre back, and all the standard shit, heaps of EQ, compression, all this sort of stuff to make and blend into two to make it all work. We get the Royal, and we stick it 30 centimetres in front of the speaker box, push up the fader. This is why I call the Royal 121 instant electric guitar sound. Because there's nothing to it. You push up the fader, there it was. You look at this, 2 channels, compressors, EQ, everything, you look at this and go, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? Am I an idiot? What am I going to do? I'm going to use this microphone. All right, ribbon mic is also a great choice for brass and metallic instruments and numerous forms of handheld percussion. Ribbon mics are fantastic on percussive instruments. They just round them out a bit, give them a bit of thickness and body. So, some recommendations, 2 that I've used that I think are really good. The Royal 121, I have no hesitation. Not the 122, not the active version. It sounds different, and to my ear it's not suitable for these applications. The 121 and the AEA, audio, what they're called, Audio Engineers Associates, whatever. The R84 is also a very good ribbon mic that I can recommend. The Coles 4038, fantastic, they're going to a different price point and you can't stick it, put in front of the guitar amp. But these two I think you can pretty much do stuff with. If you weren't certain, I could definitely say, well, the Royal 121 you can stick just about anywhere, no problem. Great on the trumpet, man. Okay, and our third microphone, we need a dynamic cardioid, just our preferred choice for recording kick, snare, toms, and similar sorts of instruments. Dynamic cardioid microphone. Also used on guitar amps in combination with the ribbon mic to add grunt without using a cue if you need that sort of stuff. A couple of choices here. Well, either of these two you'll be fine with, depending on which way you want to go. The Short SM57, the classic Short SM57. If you're doing rock kind of stuff, yeah, this is your grunt microphone. This is the mic for guitarists. If the ribbon's not giving what you want, shove this mic in there. Yep. If you're doing more, if you've got more sort of a more diverse sort of range of things, get the Sennheiser MD421. I think it's now Mark II actually. Right? This is a lovely dynamic microphone, reasonably flat sounding. It's one of the few microphones in the world that will give an acceptable result on anything. Acceptable result. I didn't say great, acceptable. So it's always handy to have one of those hanging around when you run out of microphones. I've got a 41, yeah, that'll do. Okay, headphones meant for recording, editing and mixing, yes? The idea here is, as well, that we will probably do more work on headphones than our speakers. Some recommendations. Again, things that I've used myself quite extensively. I can happily recommend them. Audio-Technica AJ1050, Bayer D2250s. Now, I talk a lot about Audio-Technica here. I'm not endorsing or anything. Technical Audio Group gave me a whole bunch, or lent me a whole bunch of Audio-Technica gear to take to Nepal and India a couple of years ago. And in that time, I was kind of forced to use their stuff because that's part of the deal. And I realised this stuff's really good. Their new generation stuff's really good. Same with the Rode stuff. Most of the stuff I use. The M50 headphones is quite a story behind those, but basically I ended up throwing away my DT250s, my Bayers, which I've used for years and swore by. Now for editing, you primarily want good isolation. Yep. You're going to edit, we're going to top and tail, make sure that reverb tail ends all the way, let's see little glitches and stuff like that. Again, the M50s have very good isolation, superior to the Bayers. Headphones for mixing. Here we require accurate and reliable sound with good translation. You know what translation means? What you hear in the can sounds like out in the world sounds right. So it translates well out in the world. You also need headphones that are comfortable to wear for extended periods. Yeah, and they must not be fatiguing. If they're fatiguing after a while, you'll just get tired of working and kind of lose your ability to lock in on sound. You get numb ears. I call it numb ears. Some people might have another word for it. Okay, I'm not going to give you too many recommendations on speakers because choosing one of the speakers is like choosing prescription lenses without the help of an optometrist. You have to find the pair that bring your hearing into focus. What I like may not be what you like. Yeah? Here's a starter system. MacBook Pro 13-inch laptop, the model after this has FireWire. Low cost, portable, acceptable performance for music, blah, 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 blah. 4,500 RPM drive, not good for 96K stuff. That was 2,399. We add to that Pro Tools LE software that comes with an interface. All the reasons are there. If you're going to invest time learning a program, you may as well learn the industry standard if you intend to work in the industry. If you don't, use whatever program you like. If you intend to charge good money for what you do, get on board, get the industry standard. Why not? That also allows you to do what I call my parasitic approach to audio. We'll come back to you later, hopefully if you have time. Okay, session files are easily transferable to other Pro Tools systems. Come supplied with a DigiDesign interface. And there's no price in that because it depends what interface you get. If you get the Box 2 interface, USB powered interface supplied with Pro Tools LE, mic inputs, headphone sockets, monitor, speaker outputs, it's all in there. 2 mic inputs, future expandability due to the split of digital input. Remember I mentioned before I had a digital interface, preamp with digital out? Yep, great, fantastic. It's all there. $875. Retail, it's cheaper than that if you go bargaining around. The Rode NT2A microphone, mentioned that before. Blah, 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 blah. 940s, it's retail, you'll get that. All these things you'll get much less than retail if you shop around. The Audio-Technica headphones, again, all the stuff already said about these things. If you're on a 95 RRP, you'll do better. Cost of that system, $4,609. No wastage, and that's the system you can sit at home with and actually start recording music. You've got a Rode NT2A. I talked about this mic, we know what we're getting there. All that sort of stuff. Long-term planned addition. You know the idea of a long-term plan? Yeah. You read that Shure SM57, at Arroya, at the Rode NT5s, at the Sennheiser headphones, at the Dyn Audio speakers, that whole system ultimately, that could be something you do over 2 years or 1 year. Yeah. When you get there, you spend a total of $11,339. People spend more than that on their first system and buy a whole lot of crap.